诞生在旧金山的人工智能律师罗斯，是一位利用 IBM Watson 系统开发的智能法律顾问。
We taught it U.S. bankruptcy law, and so that's the area that we've commercialized ROS in so far. We built with natural language processing and machine learning. And so ROS can actually understand what that user is asking.
How would you compare this technical revolution as compared to the previous one in human history?
There really only been two big events in all of human history that have fundamentally changed the human conditions. One is the Industrial Revolution, and the other one was the Agricultural Revolution. And you could argue that the Machine Intelligence Revolution will be as big as either of those two, possibly bigger.
And faster?
And much faster.
随着蒸汽火车的第一声轰鸣，人类社会拉开了工业革命的序幕。到19世纪20年代，短短数十年内，仅英国便有数百万的农民放下了农具，变成了工人。曾经驾驶马匹的车夫，变成了驾驶汽车的司机。工业革命在提高生产力、增加社会财富的同时，也伴随着新旧行业的更替。这一次的智能革命，速度更快，范围更广。这一次，机器的触角不再局限于体力劳动的范围，它也向脑力劳动行业发出了挑战。在纽约，美国最大的新闻机构美联社引入了一位人工智能编辑
Wordsmith。Corporate earnings are a very important part of a business news report. Our customers wanted more. So we knew we had to come up with a way to provide more stories with the staff that we had. So that was why we turned to, in this case, the program Wordsmith. I mean, a very basic earnings story like the kind that we are automating now would take roughly 30 minutes of reporter and editor time. Before automation, my staff of 65 was writing roughly 300 stories per quarter. Now we're doing 3,700 with a lot less time. We will be able to find more interesting stories because of that.
Experts in almost every area spend most of their time doing fairly mundane, repeatable, automatable tasks. And so we're providing tools that permit us to automate a lot of the tasks that these professionals do.
尽管 Wordsmith 眼下还只能完成一些简单的报道，但这位机器记者的稿件正在被越来越多的媒体采用。无独有偶，另一个白领职业律师也迎来了一位新同事。诞生在旧金山的人工智能律师罗斯，是一位利用 IBM Watson 系统开发的智能法律顾问。
We taught it U.S. bankruptcy law, and so that's the area that we've commercialized ROS in so far. We built with natural language processing and machine learning. And so ROS can actually understand what that user is asking.
So let's say I want to know, when is a transfer deemed fraudulent? I'm just going to type that in, hit enter. So now ROS is going through all the data, all the case law it's been trained on, bring me back results. Now it's going to open up the case, and not just that, it's going to zoom directly to the passage of the law that is going to be the most helpful for my question.
在美国，每年花费在法律事务上的总费用高达2900亿美元，人均800美元左右。这笔费用令许多人无法获得所需的法律援助。安德鲁创立罗斯律所，正是由于发生在他朋友身上的一件事情。
Unfortunately, his parents split up. They got divorced. And the lawyers, sent their bills, and it was extremely difficult for a single mom to deal with these large legal bills. And so Jimo kind of thought to himself, there must be something that can be done with technology to make this profession more efficient.
从罗斯到 Wordsmith， 人工智能在各个领域的应用提高了效率，也不可避免带来失业的话题。 牛津大学的一份研究报告指出，未来10到20年间，美国702个职业中将会有一半消失，涵盖了近47%的就业人员。
What kind of industries and the jobs would you anticipate first taking over by machines?
I think all of that could in principle be done more efficiently with machine intelligence.
There's usually some small group of people who are disproportionately disadvantaged by that new technology or the changes that take place.
The computerization and the change of the structure of the workforce is actually creating new jobs too.
事实上，旧的行业消失，新的机遇也在悄然诞生。
There will be things we don't have to do because we can leave that to the machine and we can focus on more interesting projects. But still, somebody has to design the system, maintain the system, make sure it's doing what it's supposed to be doing, and then think about other ideas. The software is receiving the information we're providing them and generating the story. The fact that we now have to really maintain the data, make sure that the information we're sending is accurate. So there are ways that automation is changing and adding to our jobs.
So using systems like ROS, the lawyer will be able to bring down the cost of their legal services, which means that more people will be able to access the law. So AI in the legal field is actually something that's going to make more jobs. It's going to enable more people to have access to a lawyer, and it's also going to drive down the cost of how much it costs to see a lawyer.
A more interesting thing happened in my view of the equation. I see is that right now in America, there are more people working than ever in history.
然而，每一次产业革命带来的社会问题，并非只是解决就业这么简单。生产力飞速发展也带来社会转型的阵痛，甚至令社会产生前所未有的分化。智能革命同样也隐藏着许多威胁。通过智能革命，发达国家试图将制造业重新带回本土，但这并不代表着财富的分配能变得更加公平。相反，正如工业革命时期的资本家垄断了机器这一生产工具，人工智能技术也可能会变成垄断的一种新手段。
There's more manufacturing in the U.S. today than there has ever been. It's at a peak, but it's mostly being done by machines, not by people.
Progress in automation technology will tend to benefit people who own the automation technology, so increase returns to capital.
Artificial intelligence is a force for increasing inequality because the people with the money who can own the machines and own the robots are those that will become wealthier. You don't want a society in which the people who have the biggest computers are the ones who get all of the advantages.
The danger for our society is the middle will go away. And there's this argument that you really need a vibrant middle class for a democracy. And so if you have a society where you have an elite at the top and then you have terrible jobs at the bottom, that's not a good model for society.
受到更严重威胁的，可能是一些依靠劳动力输出的发展中国家。智能革命的到来，使得传统的竞争优势不复存在。与此同时，他们还需要面对成本上升、人口老龄化和环境恶化等诸多问题，在影响经济发展的同时，甚至可能带来更为严峻的社会问题。
What are some of the policies to address to those issues that may come up?
So we could, for example, change the tax laws. So a company that benefits 5 million people might get a lower tax rate than one that benefits the same business that would benefit 5 people.
One thing that does seem fairly clear at this point is that it would be much preferable to have a cooperative, collaborative approach to work out a solution to the alignment problem than, say, on governments to be able to find ways to accommodate people who can't find jobs, maybe through some social welfare system.
There are many ways to address the problem of growing inequality, and this isn't specifically about artificial intelligence. And the problem is our social goals have become decoupled from our economy in ways that are not really in line with the goals that we have for a fair and just society.
Efficiency and fairness.
efficiency and fairness, that's reasonable to say.
科技的发展的过程中，社会学一定要跟上。每一次的工业发展，我们都得有社会总体的思考，不管是politician 也好 ，lawmaker 也好，这个 philosopher 也好 ，educator 也好。所以我希望人工智能能调动整个社会的一场对话。
漫步在工业革命时代的街道中，我总是浮想联翩。工业革命曾经深刻地改变了人类社会的模样，将马车变成了火车和汽车，将田地里的农民变成了工厂里的工人，将农村变成了城市。然而，每一次的社会变革都会伴随着矛盾和冲突、破坏和重建。智能革命的到来也必然会触动许多人的奶酪。如果说工业革命曾经制造了巨大的贫富差距和激烈的社会矛盾，那么这一次，我们是否做好了准备？这一次，我们会做得更好吗？